I was at the game tonight. So, yeah, not a great night to be a Caniac, which fortunately this season has been a rarity, but given the fact that we're coming off a 10 game winning streak, 8 game, wish it was 10, would have been 10 if we won the past 2 games, but fortunately we can't get everything in life. So, I was at this game, and unfortunately, it'll be the one Hurricanes game I can be at for the next 2 seasons, for the next this year, next year, given my work situation. And I managed to relax, and it was a fun game to watch. Went to overtime, of course. So just for a audience member, I guess hockey's always great to watch in person, no matter what game. As a Carolina Hurricanes fan, this one was rough because this is a game we should have won. And, it's hard to put a finger on where we lost. And for me, we lost this game in the first period because, like, as much as we can talk about how Korpisalo stole this game, which he was amazing and he is the reason the Blue Jackets won, Carolina coming out as bad as they did in the first period, I think is what cost us the game. The only player for me that was stepping up in the first period was Andrei Svechnikov. Everyone else was just kind of doing meh. And, Andre was the only real player stepping up this game. And in the first period. And in the second period, they came out strong. Great coaching by Brind'Amour. But really, this team should have been awake from the get-go, as they should on every night. But you're not going to be able to every night. And unfortunately, this game, it cost us the 2 points. And we did get a point out of it, which I don't think is a consolation prize, because honestly, when we play teams like Columbus or Detroit, we shouldn't be giving up points against them. So the point isn't a consolation prize. It's just, at least we got this. And the at least isn't a good thing. This isn't ranty because they're coming off an 8 game winning streak, and Carolina played better in the first 2 periods. Or Carolina came out better in the second 2 periods, and as much as I want to compliment Brind'Amour for coming out, I think Carolina should have figured out a counter to the neutral zone trap, and they couldn't. And Columbus managed to get in. The neutral zone trap, combined with how well Korpisalo was playing, managed to get Columbus to get the win. And I think that's unacceptable. And you can talk about how, the second and third period, especially when Columbus started trapping it up and just played a really tight game, how well that was and everything and their ability. But if you don't come out weak in the first period, you're probably not in that position, because when Carolina was outplaying them by a lot in the first 2 periods. But because that first period was so bad, they unfortunately put themselves in a position where Columbus could steal a win, and tonight they did. And this isn't the position you want to be in. Now, look, this is not doom and gloom for the Hurricanes. They are guaranteed a playoff spot. But, not guaranteed. I'm going to knock on wood, guys, don't worry. But they are in very well position going forward for the playoffs. But if you want to get a good seeding in those playoffs, home ice and all that, you got to be able to win games. And, for a team that in the hockey guys' playoff rankings was number 2, they haven't played like it for the past 2 games. And the second best team in the NHL should be able to beat Columbus and Detroit. And, I will say, though, this. After the first period, Necas, Aho, and Dougie Hamilton really stepped things up. And Nedeljkovic played his ass off. And when it comes to the whole idea of Hurricane of the game, could have given it to any of those 4. But hindsight being the fact that I couldn't record this until midnight, being what it was, it actually worked out because I could give it to Svechnikov, because there's a video of Svechnikov, he comes out and he's practicing his shooting after the game. And You gotta hand it to him. That's gonna be a special talent going forward. That reminds me, I watched The Last Dance, which if you're a sports fan in general, you should watch The Last Dance. So I guess there's your recommendation when the Hurricanes aren't playing for what you can do if you haven't watched The Last Dance. That reminds me of that. Svechnikov's hatred to lose. That is just a great sign going forward. And he's been on a cold streak. Other than that one, other than Svechnikov one, he hasn't been playing his best, and he's really starting to hate his lack of skill and the fact that he's going out there and shooting pucks. He's not going to be gone for a cold streak much longer. If I had to predict, I think he's going to turn it around tomorrow. So because of that, the fact that he's coming out and shooting pucks when he doesn't have to, he is Hurricane of the game for me. That's the kind of work ethic you want to see. The only thing I had going for me that was elite in my hockey career was work ethic. I don't even think I had that kind of work ethic. Now, a lot of it, all the players in the NHL had better work ethic than me in the NHL because they're in the NHL. But like of all the things I had that was an elite level of hockey, it was my work ethic to the game itself. Don't think I had that. So yeah, so I got to give it to him because that's amazing to me. I love that. You love to see that. So all right, so that's the video. Do you guys agree with me in my assessment that the Hurricanes lost this game in the first period? If you guys like the content I'm producing, you can please hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys Saturday for the next game against Columbus. And something tells me, based on Svechnikov's warm up, how Carolina came out, and the fact that they gave this game up, wouldn't want to be Columbus on Saturday. I'll say that. I'll see you guys then.